Welcome, my dear students. This is part two, second video on change management, and we will handle now a new topic about the change management. So here we go. I would like to say first about there are two general goals. Let us share the screen so everyone can see what I'm doing. So usually we have two general goals of organization change when we come about the organizational change. To maximize adaptation possibilities in relation to the environment, the second goal is to emphasize the human factor, which is the final analysis. The most susceptible to influence the change because people are the source of the change, are the one who will affect the change itself. So these changes may be four types, or the change managements. We have four types of change management. We have incremental change, we have piecemeal change, we have transformational change, and we have flux change. The incremental change, these changes take place frequently and in gradual manner. The changes are logical and involve little deviation from the past. Okay. The piecemeal change is simply a change only in some strategies. So it's only some changes in some strategies, while others remain unchanged. For example, marketing strategies. We can make a change in part of the organizations in a part, like the strategy itself will remain, but the others remain the same without change. Transformational change. This type of change take place rarely, not too much, but the nature of this change is major and involves significant departures from the past. The last one is flux change, or flux change, when the strategic organization of the strategies of the organization are changed without any clear direction. It is known a period of as period or flux. For example, some new products are added to existing product line just for broadening. So this is another kind of change. So what we have now, actually we have the types of change, organizational changes, are anticipatory changes, reactive changes, incremental changes, and strategic changes. Those are the organizational changes. So anticipating changes are those changes are systematically planned by managers and are made with the intention to take advantage of the situation, which are expected to arise. Like we might get profits, we might get this. So those are anticipating changes. What about the reactive changes? Such changes are generally made for survival of the organization, to keep the organization survive. These changes are forced on the organization by unexpected environment pressures. If there is a hurricane, if there is a tsunami, if there is any environmental changes that affect the society, so I will need this kind of change in that case, which is reactive change. It is a kind of reaction from the organization to some external forces that affect the organization. For that reason, we have to accept these reactive changes and we have to go through it. Incremental changes. These changes are made with an intention to maintain functioning of organization on its selected choosing path or way. Let us give example. An organization has many subsystems. These systems may be adjusted from time to time. So all the systems of the organization, you have to adjust it from time to time. This we call it incremental changes. Okay. As example, if you are now doing the attendance manually, log in book and log out book, you can do it electronically, like on the computers. So this is incremental change, step by step in the process. You change in the process. Okay, Strategic changes. The word strategic, we said before, is of a vital important or something that is very, very important. So the strategic change, this type of change is more basic in nature and has great influence on the overall functioning of the organization. It can alter overall shape, the technology, the changes in locations or whatever, all those are kinds of change. We'll go to the why the change is important. Why the change is important. Change management can help people to recognize how powerful the human dynamics are in any change effort. Change management strategy can act as a map for guiding actions. Change management ideas and tactics can help in the management to develop the relationship needed to maximize the effectiveness of the change. Okay, now we'll go to the steps of the change. Actually, some places we talked before about it changes, so I won't bother myself back and bother you back with talking about the changes because in the previous video I showed you 8 steps for the change. But we still have some forces that affect us to do the change. We have main forces. The forces for change are external and internal forces. So what about the external forces for change? These are a number of exchange forces which may bring changes in the organization and which will directly affect the functioning of the organization. Okay. Internal forces include the following, like what the internal forces? Top management thinks from inside the organization that leads to change from within us inside the organization itself, where I'm working. Okay, it's not imposed on me from outside. It's from inside the organization. Like as example, the philosophy of the company, maybe change it. So we have to change also make the change. Corporate policy, retirement, promotion, resignation, transfer, all this. Changes in the perceptions, attitudes, feelings, and beliefs of the expectation of the employees of the organization. This is internal. Changes in of internal environment of the organization. Also, those all are methods of changing. So those were the internal changes. The external changes which comes to you from outside the organization itself. The like as example we said environmental, political, economical, social, those cultural changes which affect the whole society, then it will affect you as a part of the society. Uh, Change management tools for facilitating change in the business. The major tools include the following: spin off, lean management, outsourcing, and re engineering. So we'll know every one of them. What do we mean by those things that will make it easy or hesitate change? Spin off, a tool known as spin off, means improving the organization's form of the business by simplifying its internal structure through the spinning off, okay, and removing the redundant structural elements. So we will change in the structure itself of the organization. Instead of using tall structure, we will use a flat structure. Or instead of using too much centralization, will tend towards decentralization. So this will help more. Lean management, the second way of change. Lean management, also called slimming the organization down, is one of the numerous methods and techniques for improving the business management process. It's regarding the process itself. So this is the lean management or the change in the lean management type of change. So it is regarding a change in processes. How about the outsourcing? Another kind of change. What's it? The word outsourcing means you are looking outside, like you're looking outside, external and resources. Resources talks and mean. Therefore, outsourcing means transferring a function which was up to now performed by the employees to of a given business to an external company, that is to do so-called service provider or outsourcer who does not have any direct relation with the business but specialized in a particular area. This is the outsourcing. This is the outsourcing, and this is a type of change as well. Then the type number four of the change is what we call re-engineering. Re-engineering is kind of revolutionary, changing in everything in the organization from the roots itself. Okay, the essence of the management methods constitutes in the fact that they constantly evolve, they emerge, and subsequently developed. However, the encounters a skeptical approach from management method specialists at present. Re-engineering, or to be more precise, the business process re-engineering method is in such situation. So, what is the re-engineering itself? What do you mean by it? Re-engineering may be defined as a method of profound transformation. Its roots, you made another change, revolutionary change of overall business in everything in your company. The structure, the process, the techniques, the way you are working, everything, in order to optimize the main determinants of effectiveness. That is the quality, cost, completion date, and customers care. Those are because you're looking for the highest quality. For that reason, you're doing re-engineering because you're looking for the highest quality and so on. We'll move now to those were very important points about the change in this things that you have to take care very well when you are doing a change. Ability to communicate with all the staff, and this we talked about in the previous video. Reliability and respect among employees, accepting, understanding, and identifying oneself with the set directions of change, availability to understand problems, availability to think analytically, high position in the business hierarchy. Those are very important points to care about when you do the change. Okay, we came to a very important point now. If the change in the future will be different than the change now, is there any things that we have to take in considerations regarding change in the future? Nowadays, the world is moving very fast in technology, and the world is moving very fast in all aspects of life. Actually, not technology only, in everything. Uh, so, what do you think about the change in the future? Will be like the past, or some things will be different? Okay, let's go. We have the business of the future should focus on the teamworks instead of the traditional hierarchy and structures of nowadays, which depends on the classical structures of organizations. No, it will depend more on the teamworks. Continuous learning, on continuous learning as example. Now every day we need to be updated. For that reason, we have to change, be very changeable. Every day the world is changing. So we also have to acquire all the and update our knowledge of all the changes which is happening every place in the world, everywhere in the world. Business management through projects, effective communication and cooperation. Today, the communication means are very developed and moving fast, and we have to be very updated. Who knows that when we had the COVID-19, now that we will work online, I will be in a place and you guys in another place, and I'm discussing to you some students in India, some students in China, some students in Korea. We didn't come to know all this will happen. And for that reason, we have to accept the change to know about the systems, the technology, the D2L, the Google Classroom. All those are newly for some people. So, okay. Partner with customers, suppliers, and competitors, and innovations. The innovations also is a reason for change. Nowadays, the business face a serious challenges of meeting new trends in economic process in which the following will prevail. Employees will, with broad knowledge, will constitute the business assets. If you have a good knowledge, you are good. I will keep you with me because you will be a source of change. You will be helping me in the change. Educated employees will be a majority in the staff. That's about the future people. Large branched business corporations will set up around like joint venture, alliances, because it's like the fish, like the big fish will eat the small fish, the same thing. So merging and cooperation between big companies, the giants, this will stand still and will last. It's like Darwin's, but it's in business. Like Darwin's law that the stronger will keep and survive. It's the stronger here is the larger in the net profit, in the is dividends, is performance of the stocks, all this. Therefore, the change is all areas of operations, resource functions should be carried out, taking into account the considerations. Employees and education should be oriented towards what? Towards the creating the ability of to use information, fostering creativity, developing the competences of the team cooperation, strong needs for achievements, high self-esteem. Those are the things needed for the future change. Management style should facilitate independence of employees, granting more rights for them, and organization solutions should support the greater flexibility. So the more flexible the business, the more the ability to change and to accept the change. This was about the future needs for the change, and we talk here about the types of change, the organizational change. So I want you to remember all these points. Thank you so much and have a good night. Bye bye.